Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. It is Talk About a Tuesday, and as promised, we are going to get into the Maldives. Because, baby, if the devil's in the details was a place, it would be the Maldives. All right, so we're going to start with some fun facts that people may not know. A lot of people ask me, where the hell is the Maldives? It's in Asia. It's in the southern part of Asia. It's an island in South Asia. Also, most people just think that the Maldives is a bunch of bungalows floating in the water, and that's not it. It's a city. There is a city. Malay City is what you would fly into to come to the Maldives. From Malay, you have a couple of different options to get to some of the resorts that are on more exclusive or secluded islands that are a part of the Maldives, and or getting to the bungalows that are in the middle of the water. So we're going to start with the city. Now, last Talk About It Tuesday, I discussed, having realistic expectations for your travel and doing it the way that fits you and your budget. So, baby, I don't have bungalow money. I don't have no sponsors. I ain't got no rich husband, nothing. So this is all on me. So I am staying in Malay City. Now, Malay City is still an island. It's surrounded by water on all sides, and you can get like a room at one of the boutique hotels right by the water, substantially cheaper than the private resorts and bungalows. I found me a little boutique hotel right like one block from the beach um, for like $345 for 7 days. The beach in Malay is a man-made beach, but it's still beautiful. And I showed a picture of it earlier this week in one of my TikToks if you want to check it out. If you're staying in Malay, you can typically just catch a taxi to your destination. They don't have Uber or Lyft or anything like that here. You will have to use the local taxi and or get your hotel to arrange some type of pickup drop-off service. The biggest advantage of staying in the city is that there are tons of restaurants, different types of restaurants. If you were to get an Airbnb, because they do have Airbnbs in the city, you have access to grocery stores and local markets and things like that, and you get to see how the everyday people live in the Maldives. You can find food fairly reasonable. You can get a whole meal for between like $10 to $20. In some instances cheaper than that. Especially they have tons of bakeries here, like really great bakeries. So if you go to the bakery, you can eat even cheaper than that. So it is pretty affordable to eat once you get here. I can't speak to what the prices are on the private islands because everything has to get shipped out there and or flown out there in some cases. So I imagine that the prices are a bit different. So if you're going to go the resort route, it will probably be cheaper for you to do like an all-inclusive package as opposed to paying day by day. Like most countries in Asia, service tax is included, so they don't really expect a tip. So if you don't tip, don't feel bad. I believe it is like 10% general tax and 8% service tax, or vice versa, but the taxes are real. Another thing that people might not realize is that the Maldives is predominantly a Muslim country, and there are a lot of rules, as there are in all Muslim countries. So if you're going to stay in the city, definitely double check to make sure that things like swimming is allowed by the beach in your area, and that you're allowed to wear swimsuits, because you can't wear swimsuits in all areas of the city. It is not allowed. Additionally, even if you aren't Muslim, if you are visiting a Muslim country, I do recommend to try to cover up a little bit just to be respectful. No one's going to say anything to you necessarily if you got it all hanging out, but just try not to be a jerk and respect people's religious preferences. On to the bungalows, baby. So y'all, these bungalows and private resorts can range anywhere from $250 a night to upwards of five, six, $700 a night to stay at these places. You can definitely swim and do what you like on the private islands and the bungalows, because for that price and that level of exclusivity, nobody's gonna say anything to you, honey. So once you get to the Maldives, there are a couple of different ways to get to the private islands and or bungalows. You have to arrange some type of airport transfer. Now there are ferry services from the airport to the more private and exclusive parts of the Maldives. And you can hop on a ferry for around $20 to $30, but the ferry is not running all of the time. So you have to get here in time to catch it. And if you get here too late, then you're going to have to get a room in Malay for the night. If you don't want to catch the ferry, or if you know you got the money to blow, you can charter a speedboat. So the speedboats range in price. Now, if it is a group that is coming, you can get a per person price on the speedboat. And that's normally somewhere between $30 and $50 per person. Like the minimum is 5 people. Now, if you don't have the minimum person requirement to get on one of the group speedboats, then you're going to have to charter a private speedboat. And those prices vary depending on where you're going. They can be anywhere from $150 per person to $450 or more per person one way. Yes, one way. The cheapest offer I found for a speedboat was with the Holiday Inn Resort, and they offered speedboat service from the airport to the island that they are on for $150 round trip. That was the cheapest that I saw. In addition to that, you're going to have to pay what they call an environmental fee. Now, here in Malay City, it was only like $21. It was like $3 a day. But on some of the private islands, it is a bit more expensive, and I'm not 100% sure. So you should definitely read all of the fine print. Another difference between Malay and some of the private islands is that once you're on the island, you're stuck. You're pretty much stuck there unless you want to catch a ferry or a speedboat back to the mainland to do some exploring, or book some type of excursion to come back to the mainland to do some exploring. So you're pretty much limited to whatever the hotel is offering you as far as food and entertainment and things like that. You can also book excursions on the mainland to go to some of the resorts and do all types of water sports and island hopping activities. Also, like I said, this is a Muslim country. So on the mainland, alcohol is sparse. It definitely ain't no legal drugs here. So alcohol is sparse. Not that you can't get alcohol, but it's primarily beer. And it's not sold everywhere. You're not going to be able to find it everywhere. Whereas on the resorts and the private islands, you can, get the full bar experience. Finally, let's talk about the people. The people aren't mean, but they aren't super friendly either. Like it's not a very welcoming place unless you're kind of in, I guess, that hospitality space. The customer service is really good at the restaurants and things like that. They take really good care of you. But in general, I don't know if it's because I'm not Muslim. My name is Arabic. My father was nation. My name is actually Muslim law and law in some other places. And in some other places, the goddess of love. But that is not the point. The point is that I don't know if it's because you are a non-Muslim or not, but there is not this super welcoming vibe here at all. All in all, I've just been chilling, kind of just going to the beach every day, eating the food, and kind of resetting because I'm going to take a long journey. Come Saturday, I check out, and we headed to Italy. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I will reply. If you want to inbox me, that's also fine. As always, guys, happy and safe travels, and don't forget to follow.